You know it's true. No matter what you do, Trevor talks it through. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Welcome to another episode of Trevor Talks It Through. I'm Trevor, and I'll be talking it through for you. I don't know what episode this is. I should have probably checked that. We're in the mid to late 20s, I think. I was very excited by the relaunch last week. And it was also the first video podcast I did. Although it was pointed out to me that most people call a video podcast is actually a vlog or something like that. Maybe it's a vlog. A vlog. I'm going to call it a vlog because that's going to save time. I'm not going to have to deal with that space. Vlog. But I can just call it vlog. It could be like a monster to scare children, the vlog. If you don't eat all your oatmeal, beware the vlog. The vlog will get you in the night and feed you the oatmeal. I don't know what that accent was, but it wasn't very good. Yeah, so I had the vlog, the first vlog ever, and I've been surprised. A lot of people watched it. Well, I mean, in a relative type of way. And I took a look at it after I posted it again. I took a look at it, and it was pretty hideous. I mean, not from a content point of view, because of course the content's always quite good. But visually, it was unappealing, I thought. Especially because I had that thing. I had a thing, I think it was over here, and it fell off. Fortunately, it finally fell off. But it looked very unattractive. Maybe I should have sold that on eBay. I'm better today. I've got a bit of a thing here. Not much. And I'm looking a little scruffy. It's because I forgot to shave, and then before the podcast, I was thinking, is that horrible moment? Like, do I try to shave now or not? Because if I try to shave, I'm probably just going to have all these little cuts all over me. Not for sure. And if I don't, I just look scruffy. So yeah, visually, I thought it wasn't that good. So this week, you may have noticed I've first of all, I'm doing it from the couch. I decided to give it more of like a talk show feel, and then I brought in a plant from the garden. I mean, if you're listening to the podcast, you can't see the plant, but it's got flowers and stuff, and it was just outside, and so I just brought it in. And then over here, I've got a ceramic kitten. So I think it's looking better in here. So it's a step up. Okay. Yeah, so what's been going on? Oh yeah, so since I've started up the podcast and the vlog again, I've also been back on Twitter. I started that a couple of years ago, and then I abandoned it when I got really busy, but I'm back on Twitter. And I was surprised. There was about 100 people still following me, even though I hadn't gone anywhere. I guess it's easier to follow somebody if they're actually not moving. So maybe that's why they were still doing it. So I went back on Twitter. That was pretty great. But what I found though is every time I would tweet, I'd lose a follower. So I was a little confused by that. But then I kind of got it because you know what it was. No, it was like it's been 2 years, right? It's like back in high school. There's some kid you kind of hung out with a bit. You know, it's a bit, and then you don't see him for a while. You go off to university or something, and then one day you run into this guy again, you know, at the grocery store, and it's like, hey, dude, I haven't seen you in a while. And you're like, no, I haven't seen you either, dude. Yeah, let's get together. Okay, sure, buddy. So you get together, and next thing you know, he's coming over. Hey, you want to go see a movie? I'm like, buddy, like, it's over, buddy. Like, hey, I'm just calling you up, see what you're up to. So I think I was kind of that guy, you know. Hadn't kept in touch for 2 years, and all of a sudden, boom, I'm there, and every day I'm like saying 3 or 4 things like, hey, I had a sandwich for lunch, because what you do at Twitter, I got a sandwich for lunch. So I was losing people every time I tweeted, but Good riddance to them, I say. I don't want them to follow me. They were only following me because I wasn't moving, right? Okay, so I'm going to move on. What else can I talk about? I asked for some questions. Maybe I'll do a couple of questions now. I got a whole bunch of questions, so I'm going to, I'll just shake it up a bit. So here's the first question I'm going to read today. So this is from Elizabeth, and she says, do you think fancy toothpaste actually work better, or does the basic stuff do the job just as well? So she's saying, like, is fancy toothpaste, does it work better? Or does the basic stuff do the job just as well? That's the exact same thing I just read. So that was not helpful. Now, you know what? A lot of people seem to give me these kind of softball questions. I know you're trying to be nice to me. I know you're trying to be nice to me, not ask me very difficult things, so just kind of easy thing. But I know Elizabeth isn't meaning that. She's not actually talking about toothpaste here, about fancy toothpaste and basic toothpaste. She's talking about just all of life, like all of what humans do. Like, is it better to have the big house? Is it better to have the fancy car? Or would we be happier living back out in little, like, in caves or in teepees and just enjoying the simple things? Like, is fancy better? Is it good that we have all these wonderful machines that do things for us? Or maybe the basic stuff, maybe we'd be just as happy with the basic stuff. And the answer, of course, is the fancy stuff is way better. Like, what would you do the basic stuff for? Like monkeys do basic stuff. Do you want to be a monkey? Like really, the fancy stuff's where it's at. That shows everyone else that you're doing all right. So yeah, so get a big house, get a big car, burn lots of stuff. That's the whole point, right? So fancy's better. Like my set here with the cat and the flowers. Like, it just shows how you're doing better than other people, and that's the whole point in life. So yeah, get the fancy toothpaste, Elizabeth. Like, really, come on, it's not that much more. It's like, what, an extra 30 cents? Somebody sees you getting in the checkout line with like the hey, no frills toothpaste, or might as well just be washing your mouth out with sand. Like, okay, maybe I'll take another. Sorry guys, don't know where that went. Take another question here. What will I do now? Okay, so this is from someone called Chapter 10. That's a very odd name. Chapter 10. Okay, well, chapter. I'm going to read your question now. Is what is the least appetizing type of cake frosting? What is the least appetizing type of cake frosting? So this is another one of these questions that just seem like, okay, whatever. It will just give Trevor this kind of quirky question. But I know this isn't about cake frosting. This is about something deeper. It's about life, right? Like, I could easily go, what is the least appetizing? I'd probably like vomit, pig vomit frosting. That would be unappetizing. Or diuretic mule poo. That wouldn't be good frosting. So, but I'm not going to talk about it. That, like, I'd rather think about what is the best type of cake frosting. And in this question is cake. Why are you having frosting at all on your cake? Well, I mean, it's to show that you're fancy, right? But what I think the evolution of cake, like they see, put the frosting on the cake. Why don't you make a cake out of frosting? Like why wouldn't you? Like, the cake, nobody likes the cake part. I mean, like, oh, that's the frosting on the cake. Well, why don't you just have frosting on the frosting? Why don't you just have a big ball of frosting that you could, Not sure if I answered that question. Okay, I'm moving on. Oh, by the way, I found out that last week when I thought I had a 15-minute limit to load up to YouTube, and when I was loading my stuff up, it said, hey, we're giving you more time. You can have more than 15 minutes, buddy. Didn't say buddy, but it felt like they were letting me join their club, that I'm cool now with YouTube. Me and YouTube are cool now. So, yeah, I can go for as long as I like. Well, I don't know. I haven't pushed it. So, like last week, I rushed things, and I wrapped it up at 15 minutes. And this week, I'm gonna just going to drag it out. I mean, even though I have nothing to say, I'm just going to say it even more slowly than usual. So, where was I? Oh, song. So, last week I played a couple of songs. Well, one song from that was inspired by a friend of mine, Mike Ford, who had a nightmare that he was having to sing Arrogant Worm songs, and there were 3 that he didn't know. And last week I did the one called Why Can't You Be More Like Snorri, the Icelandic Explorer Baby. And also on this list was a song called The Stupid Song. And believe it or not, this one was actually really easy to write. I don't know why I just did that with my eyebrows. If you're watching, This is a stupid song, it just goes on and on. You might find some meaning, but you would be wrong. There is no thought or substance, it's thinner than a thong. That's hard to... Thinner than a thong. Poopy poopy poo, this is a stupid song. It's dum 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 dum. My bum 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 bum. Taste yum 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 yum. Yum 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 yum. This is a stupid song. It just goes on and on. You might find some meaning, but you would be wrong. There is no thought or substance. It's thinner than a thong. Good for me. Poopy poopy poo. This is a stupid song. Yeah. To be or not to be, that is the question. Is the answer. This is a stupid song, it just goes on and on. You might find some meaning, but you would be wrong. There is no thought or substance, it's thinner than a thong. Poopy 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 poo. This is a stupid song. So that's the stupid song, which I've obviously practiced quite a lot. Thinner than a thong. Thinner than a thong. Yeah, you try to do better. Okay. I think it's time for a couple more questions, or maybe I'll just talk about. I was talking about Twitter before, and me getting back into the whole social media thing after a 2-year break, and it's all feeling better this time, easier. I think I was a little worked up before. I was hoping to establish my social media kingdom, have people look up at me and maybe worship me, at least follow what I was saying. But now I realize that I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy who has the respect of people. As far as the social media world is, I think I'm more like a guy at a bar, the crazy guy in the corner, and like kind of talking to himself and looking kind of weird and like, and you can kind of laugh at him, but if you want to, you can walk by and go, hey, that's pretty funny. Look how sad that guy is in a loud way, But you don't want to get too close to him or like engage him in a conversation, because he'll just get up in your face, like, Pumpernickel isn't bread. It's not a bread. Pumpernickel's not real bread. It's not real bread. Like something like that. So I think I'm that guy anyway. Although I like Pumpernickel, I don't know why I was getting off on Pumpernickel. It's great, very dark. I think it's good for you. I'm not sure. So that's where I think I am. So now that I'm tweeting more, I'm just kind of like doing stuff like that. Like you could be at home and then you get your little thing out there and you go, oh, Trev Strong, pumpernickel isn't real bread. It's not real bread. That's the kind of stuff I'm putting out there now. So, another question then. Okay, let's go to another question. Sure, why not? Why not? Okay. So, what do we have here? Let's, here's a real question from Ottawa Paul. Another weird name, Ottawa Paul. Okay, Ottawa. So, it says, Mr. Strong, what was your primary influence to get into the music biz or comedy? Which one came first anyways? Oh, he snuck a lot of questions into that one question, didn't he? Well, let's see, Ottawa Paul. What was my... Well, I didn't start doing anything till I got to university, and then I found I had a lot of extra time. It's amazing how much time you have in university when you don't go to class. So I had a lot of time, and first thing I got into was a musical, and it was actually the Pirates of Penzance. So it was a comedy musical. So even that doesn't help, does it? So I was a policeman. They're only on in the second half, and I didn't have any lines, but I got to sing Tarantara, 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 Tarant. That was my part. I could do the whole thing if you wanted, but it's much more interesting with the other guy singing the actual lyrics. I was just kind of Tarantaring. So then I got in with the Queen's Players, a group in Kingston, and they do comedy musical. So once again, it was comedy and music at the same time. And then we started the Arrogant Worms. We mainly did sketches with some songs, and that was kind of. So I guess I got them both at the same time. I did comedy music, and my primary influence, again, the music. I have no idea what my influence was actually. Don't know. Divine inspiration. I don't know what it was. Just tell me if you find my primary influence, Ottawa, Mr. Ottawa Paul. If you find that, can you bring it to me? My primary influence. I haven't. I think I lost it. So that'd be great if you could bring me my primary influence back. That'd be fantastic. Okay. Well, there's a bunch more questions, but I feel like I've almost talked on enough. Okay, I'll do one more. Well, I'll do a couple more quick ones. There's a whole bunch of them here. I'll save some and bring them back. I'm sorry if I don't get to them all. So here's one. Rachel says, if you were to write an original Broadway musical, what would it be about? I got this great idea. Because you see how I like cats. I really like cats. So I'm going to have this whole musical about cats. And they're going to sing songs and dance. And the performers are going to dress up as cats. And you might call me crazy. I think you're going, that's stupid. That's a dumb idea. A bunch of dancing, singing cats. That'll never work, but it's going to work great. Rachel, you're going to see. It's going to light up Broadway. Cats. My idea. You heard it here first. I can't wait. Maybe what other questions do I have? I'm looking over here. I've got some questions on I shouldn't give away the tricks. The media tricks. I think I missed some questions too. I'm sorry. So, here's one. What is the longest fiction thing you have ever written? I like fiction thing. Well, I've just finished, for the third time, I finished a novel, and it's called Edgar Gets Going. And it's going to be around 250 pages. It depends how big the pages, right? Like if you could have a page the size of the house, and you'd probably get the whole novel on there. And also type size. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like people talk about how many pages is your book? Well, what do you mean by that? Like, what does that matter? You could have one big page, or you could have, a bunch of little, like 2 million little pages with a letter on it. Well, it wouldn't be 2 million, but I'm not good with math, okay? Leave me alone. It's like when people go, oh man, I just ate 5 slices of pizza. Well, how big? Pizza is not a metric measurement. It's not consistent. There's not one piece of pizza, like somewhere, like in some like official land, like this piece of pizza, which is the official measurement. Pizza is in an imperial measurement. Like it changes from town to town, from pizza place to pizza place. Like you can't go, oh, man, I only had 1 slice. Well, what if it was like a huge slice? What if it was as big as a porcupine? And a porcupine is another inconsistent form of measurement as well. So what? Oh, sorry. Longest fiction thing. Anyway, a bunch of pages. Do you ever write serious stories? This book it's humorous, but it also has some. Well, it's not totally. It's like got a story and stuff, so it's not completely just silly. And I think that's about it now. Yeah. So I'll see. I'll be back again in 5 or 6 porcupines. Or maybe 25 pizza slices worth of time. So, I have to end with my theme song. I haven't decided. Maybe I should start taking suggestions for what style for my theme song. So, the pick. See, I had the pick was still in there. So when I play it kind of sounds thwappy instead of happy. Trevor talks it through. Trevor talks it through. Now the show is done. Trevor talked it through. Yeah. That was lame. Anyway, I'll see you all soon. Why do I always say that? Anyway, because I won't be seeing you. I'm sorry, I've covered that before. I will be seen or heard by you again in a couple of weeks of time.